What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Hollywood's Hero. My name's Corey. This is something I've wanted to do for a while now. I've had a bunch of friends telling me I should review movies because I'm such a huge movie fan. I go all the time. So last year I started kind of reviewing them on Instagram a little bit, Snapchat, just kind of casually giving reviews, brief summaries and stuff like that. And people reached out and said, you should do a little more. So one of my New Year's resolutions was to kind of go out and do this. So this is my first shot at it. I'm gonna go out and give my top 10 movies of last year. I know I'm a little late on it, but hope you enjoy. So, starting out at number 10 is more of an indie film. Unless you're a big Oscar fan, not many of you have probably seen this. It's called The Banshees of Inisherin. It stars Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, and Kerry Condon. It takes place, I think, like in the early 1900s, maybe late 1880s. It stars two friends on an island off of Ireland, and one day Brendan Gleeson just decides he doesn't want to be friends with Colin Farrell anymore. Very dark, humorous film. The two of them really shine. Not a lot of supporting cast. It's mostly just the story of two friends just deciding not to be friends anymore. Highly, highly recommend. More of a dark, kind of sadistic humor, but nonetheless very enjoyable. So another indie film coming at number 9 this year is The Whale, starring Brendan Fraser from George of the Jungle and the Mummy movies, and Sadie Sink from Stranger Things. The film is directed by Darren Aronofsky, and it stars Fraser, who's like an obese 600 or 700 pound man, um, as he tries to reconnect with his daughter Sadie Sink. Before he dies, he wants to get to know her and see the person that she is, and kind of check in on her and make sure that she's going to be okay when he's not there. Um, the movie mostly takes place in his apartment, and only has maybe 6 to 7 characters in the entire film. It's a real character piece. Highly, highly recommend. Not really a feel good type of story, but if you want to see something really good, a story about people and relationships, cannot recommend The Whale enough. Clocking in at number 8 is Knives Out, Glass Onion. This is a sequel to the original Knives Out. It stars Daniel Craig. Ryan Johnson is back directing again. Um, there's a whole bunch of new characters coming in. You've got Kate Hudson, Dave Bautista, Janelle Monáe, Catherine Hahn, Jessica Henwick, uh, celebrities left and right. This one is just as enjoyable, if not even more enjoyable than the original. Takes you on a whole murder mystery of who done it, trying to figure out who the killer is or killers. You do not need to see the original to see this one, so this is your first introduction to Knives Out. You can hop in and see this one, or you can see the original. Both super enjoyable and very much recommended. Coming in at number 7 is Scream. This is the fifth installment in the franchise. Not really a big horror fan or Scream fan in general. I've watched all of them in preparation to see this one. This one brings back Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette, the original trilogy, the original threesome from the first Scream movie. It also brings newcomers Jack Wade from The Boys and Jenna Ortega, the star of Wednesday, and a bunch of other shows, in as the main characters. It does a good job of kind of showing the original movie some love and kind of investing you in new characters. Another kind of who done it, who's the killer type of, let's figure it out mystery movie. A lot of good jump scares. Very excited about the sequels that will follow. And if you haven't seen any of the Scream movies, this is a good one to start with. I would say maybe watch the original, then see this one. They do a really good job of making it so you don't have to see all 4 other movies before this to understand this one. But if you do, there are Easter eggs along the way that, big time Scream fans will enjoy. Coming in at number 6 is Bullet Train. It stars Brad Pitt. It's kind of like a movie if you took John Wick and Murder on the Orient Express and kind of combined them. 90% of the movie takes place on one train. Uh, Brad Pitt, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Brian Tyree Henry, Michael Shannon, Bad Bunny, whole bunch of famous actors, musicians, all on a train, all trying to kill each other, all trying to get this briefcase. And you kind of figuring out who's there and why along the way. Action is superb. Story is pretty interesting, and you're kind of wondering like who's there and why the entire time. The mystery is enticing, and the action is phenomenal. If you want something easy, you can just kind of relax, turn your brain off for a little bit, watch people beat the crap out of each other. This is one I highly recommend, so go check it out. Coming in at number five is a movie. When I first saw the trailer, I was a little bit unsure of if I was going to like it or not. It's The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It stars Nicolas Cage as he plays a caricature version of himself. He's kind of down on his luck, not really doing too well in Hollywood. Not too similar to what happened to him recently. And he meets a super fan, Pedro Pascal's character, who flies him out and gives him $1 million to come and kind of hang out with him for the weekend. And the two kind of go on a crazy buddy adventure, action film kind of voyage. The two of them have great chemistry together. A lot of crazy shit goes along the way. Very funny, good action, good story. Another one you can kind of just turn your brain off, enjoy, and relax to. Very good, date night, movie night kind of thing. Highly, highly recommend The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Coming in at number four, Avatar: The Way of Water. I'm not a fan of the original Avatar at all. I get it; the visuals are astounding. I totally agree. The story to me, though, in the first one was very much played out in Hollywood. Cowboys and Indians and gold, but just in space with blue aliens. This one is not the case. The Way of Water takes place 15 or 16 years after the original. Um, and wow, James Cameron knocks it out of the park. The visuals are outstanding. The way that they do the underwater filming is just next level. This is a movie I highly recommend seeing in theaters. See it in 3D, see it in IMAX, see it in the best screen you can. The story is here for this one. It is a real family piece, kind of dealing with Jake and Tyrion's family on the run. That's as far as I'll get into the spoiler talk about it, but it it really gets me excited for the future of the Avatar movies, and I was not a fan of them before this one. I'm very excited for the sequels to see what comes of it. Very, very good character piece. Go out and see Avatar: The Way of Water. Coming in at number three, a movie I have never even seen a trailer for before I saw it. I heard it was really good, so I went out and checked it out. It's called The Menu. It stars Ralph Fiennes from Harry Potter. He was Voldemort, and Anna Taylor Joy. She's from Queen's Gambit, among other things, and Nicholas Hoult from X Men. Crazy film about kind of this elitist snob foodie mentality. The main plot of the story, without going into too much spoiler detail, is that these characters pay like between $1,000 and $2,000 a head and kind of go out to this island where the world class chef, the best of the best, prepares some meals for them. They very much kind of dig deep into the foodie culture, and things kind of go awry. If you're not one who does well with, violence or blood, I would not recommend watching The Menu. This one kind of took me by surprise, like kind of like The Whale. Most of this movie takes place in one place. It's a real character piece. Most of it is taking place inside the restaurant with all these characters kind of interacting. Very, very enjoyable. Not something I'd expect to, like, but that's the cool thing about films. You just kind of see things and they take you by surprise sometimes. This was not one on my radar, but I'm very glad I saw it. Cannot recommend enough. Go check out The Menu if you haven't, if you're looking for a movie to kind of take up a couple hours. Coming in at number two, The Atom Project. If you know me, I'm a huge science fiction fan. If you throw action in there as well, sign me up. I saw this trailer and I was a little hesitant because Netflix makes it, and Netflix movies are usually not good, but every now and then they surprise you. This is one of the ones that surprises you. Ryan Reynolds plays Ryan Reynolds in this, very much the same character he always plays, super enjoyable. Mark Ruffalo plays his father, and this is the one of the first movies for Walker Schofield. He plays a younger version of Ryan Reynolds. It's basically Reynolds, Schofield, and Mark Ruffalo, kind of dealing with time travel and all these types of science fiction issues. Really cool sci-fi, really cool action pieces. The CGI is there, surprisingly, which sometimes with Netflix films it isn't. A really kind of Steven Spielberg family story, kind of heartwarming. Really, really enjoyable movie. Definitely worth a watch, especially if it's on Netflix. Just easy stream. Cannot recommend the Adam Project enough. Very surprising, like I said. Usually Netflix movies don't hit. This one does. So before I get to number one, a couple honorable mentions that didn't make my list. Top Gun Maverick. Once again, not a huge fan of the original. I know that's kind of a sin to say. People love it. It's a cult classic. For me, it didn't do it, but Top Gun Maverick is a movie that does it. Tom Cruise is at his best. It's a movie that, if you can somehow see in the theater, I don't know if this late you can, but see it on the biggest screen you can. It is everything that big budget movies are supposed to be. Really great story. Kind of does a good job introducing new characters with the old legacy ones. Cannot recommend Top Gun Maverick enough. Another honorable mention, The Fablemans. This is another Oscar movie about Steven Spielberg and his childhood. It's somewhat semi autobiographical. Spielberg directs it, and it is an incredible story. Very, very character driven. Kind of how he falls in love with film, and his childhood. Um, really great performances, probably Oscar performances from the two leads. Definitely worth checking out if you have a chance. See The Fablemans. And my final honorable mention is The Black Phone. It's kind of a horror movie. It takes place, I think, in the 70s or 60s. This guy's going around kidnapping children, and one of the kids gets kidnapped. He's put in the basement, and there's this phone that's kind of off the hook, but he can kind of talk to all the other kids that the kidnapper has killed throughout the years, and they try to help him escape. So it's this kid talking to other dead kids. Very enjoyable, very tense. If you're a horror fan, definitely check out The Black Phone. Coming in at number one, for anyone that knows me, I'm a huge comic book fan, so this won't surprise many of you. The Batman by Matt Reeves. Stars Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne. Has Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Really just different take on Gotham that we've ever seen before. Robert Pattinson is now my favorite Batman. This movie is everything you want from a Batman. It's tense, it's dark, it's violent, it's really pushes the envelope. It's a really gritty Gotham that we've never seen before. This kind of delves deep into Batman's detective side, something we've also never seen before. Um, Robert Pattinson has been Batman for a year, so it's not an origin story, but it kind of takes place his early years on of crime fighting. So you kind of see him starting to develop the Batman persona. You can see how angry he is, and he does a great job of portraying, Bruce Wayne and the Batman. I cannot recommend seeing the Batman enough. If you're any type of horror mystery fan, you like the movie Seven. It's very much in the style of Seven, maybe a little bit less gruesome, but the Batman was the best movie of the year 2022. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I appreciate you guys for watching this. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. What was your top 10 movies of the year? What did I miss? What did I forget? What did you like seeing? Let me know. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.